I am spiritual but not religious. This is a term useful for truth seekers to use to differentiate themselves from religious hypocrites, trying to reference the inner dimensions. So it's useful, it has a value, and so on. However, um, the word spirituality is not going to make it free from hypocrisy. Just by using the word spiritual or spirituality is not going to free that group or that practice from hypocrites who are insincere. Hypocrites, their nature is that they love things like religion and things that are knowledges that are sacred and holy to you. Because whatever knowledge you regard as sacred and holy, the hypocrites will crowd there and mask themselves and learn that and use the knowledge against you to be able to practice their deceit and hellfire towards you. That's why hypocrites, they always crowd around religion. Isn't it interesting that when Isa alayhi salam lived, Jesus, he was persecuted and tried to be murdered by the Romans. Then after he passed away a couple of 100 years ago, the Romans created Christianity. You see? It's the enemies of the prophet who crowd around that teaching when it is useful and beloved by people. The same with Prophet Muhammad. The same with any religion. So the hypocrites love religion. Now, I'm spiritual but religious is something that is a language that has a use, but I fear that it has only use for a certain amount of time, because the hypocrite, after a while, they will say, hey, spirituality is weird, it's so on. But when they realize that it becomes mainstream and meditation becomes mainstream, the hypocrites will crowd around spirituality as well. So the inner seekers have to find other ways to hide the true, sincere teaching of Allah, the teaching of light, and use other languages and other terms to block hypocrites. Because hypocrites, they always reject that when it's unknown. But when it's commonplace, then they all crowd around that. It's the same with the Sufi saints. When the Sufi saints are here, like Sheikh Ibrahim, yes, the hypocrites reject him, they mock him, they scorn him. But when he passed away, and the way of Sheikh Ibrahim Yas, the way he presented Tariqa Tijani, becomes popular, then everyone crowds around that Tijani identity and Tijani label because it's a way to gain power. The same with Maulana Sheikh Nazim. The munafiqun, the hypocrites, will reject him when he's here, but when he passes away, they go and crowd to that tariqah to gain knowledge and be able to control people. So hypocrites, they crowd around religion. When you use I'm religious, I'm spiritual but not religious, that will help you for a certain amount of time. When spirituality becomes mainstream, they crowd around that. If science becomes sacred to people, then they crowd around science. They use science to deceive people. So this is the nature of things. So the true way is always an inner way. The sincere ones will always find the true way, and they will always find language by the guidance of Allah and the angels and the prophets to mask the true teaching and protect it from the munafiqun, protect it from the hypocrites. Hopefully this is helpful. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you.